Rolling. So in theory, up. Yep, I believe it may be working a little bit. I need to go away a bit and plug something in. Now we have the test thingy. Supposed to have audio. Do we have audio? Okay, let's try launching Twitch for a moment just so that I can see whether I'm getting audio through that instead. Do I have this on right? Yeah, that should be the right one. Okay. I'm not getting any audio through YouTube, but I am getting audio through Twitch, so that shows that it's streaming out anyways. Whee! All the silliness. Oh, and Twitch is derping. It says media resource decoding error, but that might just be the lappy. I'm going to bail my butt off trying to watch the Twitch stream. Go back to the chat. Mm-hmm. And likewise, I think for... oh, that's not right. Oh, it was all mixed up. No matter. Hi. Here I am doing my Twitch thing for like the first time in a while. And it is time to not fuss about this stuff, but go over to... Firstly, let me fire that up. My mysterious little base. So, honestly, I might not be doing this for very long, but I am curious as to what I've got. Let's load the Google up again. See if I can't... Oh, maybe that's why I'm not hearing anything. It is muted. That's just the playback. No big problem there. Well, at least my little picture-in-picture seems to be working. Oh, and you know something? With the new encoding, I'm not getting nearly as terrible frame rate as I had. Yeah, it was really... No, I'm not sure I can do that, but what I did was I told it to have very bad compression. I think normally streamers like use the lowest possible quality compression, and it seems legit. Because I don't have a Mondo graphics card anyhow. Yeah, that's actually not nearly so bad. So that's kind of cool. So I'll leave those chats open and see what we got going on here. I don't even remember what I was going to do, but it doesn't matter. It's all good. Things are very chilled out and non-stressy around here because of all the wonderful lighting that I've got. Although, you know, one thing that might be nice would be to go and... Yeah, it's probably beyond my capacities, going and conquering a food source. However, one thing I could do is set up a little sort of general store. You've got these various places that can be used. I don't know if it's actually going to be a thing that people come and ask me questions about Airwindows stuff. They might. It's possible. Ooh. I've just reminded myself something I could use is some torches. If I'm going to be hollowing out a place like this. I have surprisingly few torches, but that says maybe. I'll do my best with them. I could do with using a different resolution setting because I'm seeing a very, very tiny little screen. But that's fine too, I suppose. Boop. Oh. I think I'm going to need to redesign some of this a little bit. Which is fine. This might not actually be a long stream, but you know, it's a bit of a test. Also, it is a test. Best testing. making these strange little shapes in this place. Which is fine, I suppose. I think it's fairly likely that people would just assume I was doing music stuff. And I have a bunch of maintenance things to do first before that's even a thing. So I will do my best with it. Pip. Silly YouTube wanting people to upload things. Silly YouTube demanding that you upload so many things. It leads to stuff like this. I'm doing nothing of consequence all day, la la la. This is silly. I shouldn't be putting that there. Oh, I'm sure I see a slime way over there. Tacky. Oops, didn't mean to do that. All of a sudden, all the gravel ever. Okay, I should be here for at least a bit. Oh, well, there's a horse hanging out with me. How appropriate. was spending a whole bunch of time today trying to figure out whether I could upgrade my audio in terms of this little microphone. Sadly, I believe the answer to that is going to be nope. All the gravel. Perhaps I should make a floor out of gravel, since there is so much of it. I'm wondering what that spooky noise is. So yeah, in theory, if this works, this can be a thing where people can show up. Oh, look, more gravel. Say hello in the chat. All the gravel, but this gravel landed on a torch. When gravel lands on a torch, it goes away. And people can ask me, oh, all the gravel. Audio and plugin questions. Diggy diggy hole, as they say. Now, if that doesn't work, I don't know, do something else. Maybe I won't do the Minecrafty thing, or I don't know. Remains to be seen. This is very much a work in progress. And as we know, the heart of Minecraft is the diggy diggy hole, and that is what we are doing now. Okay, so let's see now. Oh, I'll take that. One more of those thingies. And that's a pretty good place for stairs, I think, so perhaps we'll do that. Out we go. Oh, and we'll collect some of those. And make some more of these. I'm always hearing the spooky noises, and I don't know what they are. Let's see now. Boop, 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 and boop, 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 boop. Now we got some stairs down into this place. That could probably do with being a wall of some sort. Oh, look, more rocks. Yes, no, technically I don't actually need well, for one thing, I don't need walls back here and quite this way, but I could have them. This may not wish to be a symmetrical shape. Or who knows, maybe it would like to be some entirely different sort of thing. Here's a bunch of area that could be... I do have a lot of clay here. It's an awful lot of clay here. We could be making that clay into a bricky hole rather than diggy hole. I think the way we do that is cook it up. That is most certainly, here, have some more coal. That is most certainly something that we could do. I think that makes individual bricks, so it's going to take a while. Yep, sure enough. So we'll let that go for the time being. It's going to be a while. And we'll figure out, maybe open this space up a little bit. One thing about it is it'll get us a lot more clay if we do that, so maybe that's a good idea. This is most definitely going to be World of Bricks and World of Clay if you want it to be, because there's lots of that stuff around. I promise I'll get back to proper work at some point. People were fussing around so much about how I should go have fun and do fun things. Well, gosh darn it. Is this not fun? Are you not entertained? Am I not entertained? I guess I'm pretty entertained. And if I'm not, I'll come up with something else to do later. Oh, I could use that. More coal. That'll work. Let's have that more coal. Nomming on the coal. And more iron. Look at that. Oh, you know something? I know how I can fill this area in. I've got a bunch of dirt on me. Let's turn that dirt into grass blocks. And I think a little cobble. I got a lot of cobble on me too. Boing. Now, if I had a fortune shovel, we would have even more. Of this nice clay stuff. Oh, for heaven's sake. Hurt me, will you? I defy you. Well, that's going quickly. Let's put all this clay away. Hey, Minecraft on clay away. Yes, I probably shouldn't be entertaining myself in this way. But you know, if somebody come along and they wanted to have plug-in advice, I would cheerfully drop all of this and... Uh-oh. I hear the noise of a monster. That is generally considered bad. Although on the other hand, it's possible I have no idea where it is. Beep. I could pick up a lot of this clay. I probably should go and harvest more diamonds while I'm at it. I've got some diamonds, but not all that much. I could do with more. Gravel? No, not just yet. Expecting giant showers of gravel. I'll take that. Yeah, I'm thinking in terms of making this some kind of place where you go down into this space and there's this giant wall of chests and shulker boxes and things. Shulker boxes being these guys. They're kind of cool. For the time being, though, I think we're gonna just derp around sort of haphazardly doing stuff without any specific goal. It's a bit of a Minecraft tradition. Time-honored way of playing this game. Mind you, it's more fun when you're doing it with friends, but gosh darn it, I'm so busy making plugins and things, I ain't got friends. That or I have all kinds of friends, I just don't know most of them. Something like that. There's a logic in there somewhere. It's well hidden. There we are. I could make more stairs, that might work. I could make more lights, that might be a really good idea. But if I don't make more lights, monsters will come popping out of nowheres. Oh, and I could also make this symmetrical. Shall we make this symmetrical? Perhaps it would be good if it was more symmetrical. How are we doing with that symmetricality? Meh, tolerable, tolerable. We'll put these mossy stones back in here, and we'll try to get a bit of a consistency going. Oh, consistency, which that wasn't. No consistency for you. Boop. So, yeah, I see where that can go. And I'm probably cool. I'm not even sure what the hell I'm doing with these bricks. I did all the bricks. I can do another round of bricks. And let's see, I wanted more steps. Boop. I did sure as heck have a lot of cobblestones. And not nearly as many stone bricks as I thought I was going to have. There's a few more. I can probably come up with other things to do here. But this is like a sort of exploratory thing. There's a number of things I'm trying to work out. One of them is, does this little setup even work? Am I getting streaming? Am I getting streaming to Twitch? Am I getting streaming to YouTube? Is it technically working the way that it should? And that is worth experimenting with. That is worth finding out. You know, my humble computer systems, although they could be worse, could do with, I could do with some fancier stuff, honestly. This is not what you'd call your most high-class setup. And that's fine. We all doing what we can and working with what I can work with. I would like to be more. Hello, Gravel. I would like it to be more, but until it is, I will do what I can with what I got. Hello, more gravel. And more gravel. And look, even more gravel. The gravel. Let's have even more gravel. Yay. Okay. That was where gravel stopped. Gravel has run out. If I found chickens or a chicken spawner, this would be a great opportunity for making some arrows, because we can end up having enough in the way of wood for sticks. And Shanna. Oh, and I've got somebody on what looks like the YouTube chat. Hey, Eric's. And I have Everything's coming up roses. My friend Shanna has gone on the stream, at least enough to be able to either talk or text, says boo. And Eric just showed up on the YouTube and asks, are the VST versions exactly the same sound and effect-wise as the AU, etc. versions? Well, the answer to that is they are as close as I can get, which means that usually they are going to be exactly the same. In some cases, the audio of the VSTs can be higher quality than the AUs because the AUs run on a 32-bit floating point bus, and the VSTs are capable of running on a 64-bit floating point bus, which doesn't mean they automatically have to, but it's a possibility. And then the way that the effects behave can be quite different because AU offers a lot more in terms of like convenient behavior, like being able to put in pop-up menus and stuff. Whereas the VSTs, everything they do is based on a 0 to 1 controller. So I can take the VSTs and go, okay, from 0 to 0.5 means like effect foo, and then from 0.5 to 1 is effect bar, and in the AU it would be a pop-up menu or something with those two options. But in the VST, all I can do is try to show those things using the VST, and VST doesn't necessarily always let me. Like it will sometimes do a thing where some implementations of VST only show you the 0 to 1 thing, whether or not you've told it to show labels or controls. Sound, like I said, sound-wise and effect-wise, it should be either identical or as close to identical as I can get. Yay, actually fulfilled some of the purpose of this stream. I got to answer a tech question. My friend Shauna is trying to fix her mic. I'm seriously speculating on the idea of finishing this box off in cobble because I have so much cobble. Well, people don't like cobble everywhere, but when you've got it, you know. Trying to think of whether there was anything else interesting that one could do. Boop. You're quite welcome, Erics. Hopefully I can continue to pay attention to the streams enough to see them as where I'm doing things right now. It's not like there's lots of monsters attacking me, so it makes it real easy to not be overly distracted. And that's handy. I'm not the most adventurous Minecrafter necessarily. I am quite looking forward to showing my friend Shauna this server if she has a computer that can handle the chat, the mic, and logging on. We will see. Hey, Matthias is Stanisi. Well, yeah, I got another good question. I think that might actually work. I might actually be able to do tech support while derping around in Minecraft, and that's cool because YouTube only loves you if you're busily streaming or video making away like 24/7. So it's just handy to be able to log on and do this. Oh, you know it's true. That shadowed song laughing in the distance. So, all right, Shauna will be joining us before too long. let's see. If you're using something like purist gain, what it's going to do is it's going to return the gain change to whatever the floating point bus is at the highest resolution thing. Now, is it going to matter that whether you use 24-bit dither in the end? Well, that might depend upon whether you are doing lots of operations. Like if you've got different stuff going on, so you're using a gain trim 6 different times, then it might amount to thinning the sound out a little bit. And this is a somewhat contentious suggestion. People don't really believe that you lose any tone quality. I believe that you lose tone quality by doing lots of math operations. And it's the sort of thing where you're not really going to notice it in any super obvious way. You have to know what you're listening for. And yes, we did. That sounded like a Shauna Wolf. Yay! It's my friend. No, you're absolutely fine. So this is my friend Shadow, and this is my friend Shauna. And I'm doing tech support. So what will happen if you're using the high quality gain trim and then not using 24-bit dither? It's all kind of in the same area. The more processing, the more math you do, the more the sound will sort of gradually be eroded. It will kind of wear out. And what that means is not that it becomes distorted or anything like that. It'll just become kind of flat. It'll start sounding digital. It'll start sounding like a DAW. Because when you have a good quality, like 24-bit capture directly off of a half-decent sound card, what you have to gain there is that it can be a very pristine capture. You know, using anything like a reasonable sample rate, and depending upon the kind of sound that you're using, and doing anything like a 24-bit capture, you would essentially not have big problems with it, but it's also not very forgiving. Like what people like in terms of analog sound is often the distortions and things, and you get none of those, so it's very sterile, it's very unforgiving, but it's also very, very, very clear. And the more math you do on it, the more you start losing the clarity without getting anything in terms of like nice sounding distortions and saturations and tones. So you know, basically if you're doing enough math, you'll start hearing an effect even at 16-bit. And 24-bit dither is more along the lines of gilding the lily. It's the kind of thing where you might want to have things be absolutely great just so that you know that you took the pains with it. And it's also like when you're listening to, if you're listening to music and you want to have every little moment be just right, so that when you come, 30 minutes in, you get an instant where you're like, wow, that was great. I just heard way into this for just a fraction of a second. If you want those all to be there, it's good to have the 24-bit dither, the purest gain, all those kinds of things. Your chances of being able to tell something like that double blind 10 out of 10 is basically nil. The contention is that it's worth having the sound be better than you need for the double blind stuff, just so that if you get a moment of like unreproducible niceness, if your ear is really on point for a moment, or you're listening to some great moment, you want that to be there to the furthest possible degree. And a Shadowed Song, who's presumably down in the belly of this beast, and I'm waiting for Shauna to show up. And Shauna is going to be appearing out here because it'll be the first time logging on to this server, or this world anyway. So Mateos is out. Any help? Well, funnily enough, it's very difficult for me to even see who's here doing what or whatever. Oh. I think, yep, I think Mateus has left. It's fine. It figures that the people that I'm talking to are showing up on YouTube. And yeah, it's all Obsidian. I went in a little bit later the next night and kind of proofed a bunch of that stuff against. Oh, cool, you're still there. As people are in chat or not in chat, I can't really tell. Oh, I thank you. I'm delighted to talk to you. Like I said, my whole purpose here is this is a game that I play. I actually intend to post the server information, but I'm not really expecting that like my audio peeps are necessarily going to be all jumping on playing Minecraft and stuff. But it's nice to be able to combine the various things. What's going on, Sean? Ooh, okay. It's getting dark. Me and Shadow might just go back down. I'm not very good at Minecraft. I probably can't. And I don't have it all lit up because it just kind of looks nice this way. Or at least it'll look nice until it's all kinds of monsters everywhere. So I shall indeed go splish into the drop pool. Yeah, so well, what I'm thinking about doing, Shattered, is see this big area that I'm clearing out, which is sort of symmetrical. I'm probably going to make it into some kind of enormous safe, and there's going to be just lots of chests and different kinds of things. That'll be where, because we're going to clear out some of this stuff. All of those two chests over there, all these shulker boxes. The shulker boxes should be something that people can just come and get if they're logging out of the server and they need help or they need something to do. We've got a lot of high-class stuff in those shulker boxes, but it's really about distributing to people. There's very little point to accumulating hordes of jewelry and stuff here. Like here, see this one? Oh, you have smacked yourself with something. Oh, no, not that one at all. That one has all kinds of jewelry. I'm making MSR using my special microphone. This is how I talk to people very quietly and make AMSR. I know, people have been telling me to make AMSR for some time now. I think it's rather funny. No, they do. They want me to make AMSR because they think that my voice would be working very well with that. Suppose it's probably true. I am actually engaged in a project that might help along those lines because I have ordered some tech that I needed. Those recordings that I was making, like how to do synthesizers and things. Those were, hey, it's Ashana. Those are using a little Xiaomi Yi camera, and I've been experimenting more and more with how I can possibly use that for like motion stabilization. And I bought a little motion stabilizer electric gimbal rig, and it burns through its batteries in like 15 minutes and then doesn't work anymore. So that's kind of lame. So what I've done is I found a sort of unwanted Steadicam device that's meant for GoPros, and it's literally a Steadicam. It's a little gimbal that you can hold in your hand, and you can move it around, and the camera will be steady, but this camera will also kind of float around, and I'm having some ideas as to how to maybe stabilize that a little. Oh, don't worry, I can understand you. In fact, I took German in school, so it's possible that I might understand bits of German if you speak it, so that's fine. Mein Deutsch is scheußlich. Actually, no, scheußlich is the correct word. Scheißlich is the pun. My teacher thought that was rather funny. He taught us, this means terrible, but if you mispronounce it, it means shitly. Yep. German teacher jokes. Yeah, anyways. I do like being able to show people things that they can do with audio because that's always been what I cared about. That is what I would like to be able to do. Will I be able to get another pickaxe? Probably if I make one out of diamonds. Oh, there's a bunch of diamonds in here? Yeah, there is now a zombie pig. Oh yeah, that's a lot of diamonds. Let's put those in where they belong. Must you do that? For anybody who's actually watching, Shadowed has a tendency of doing terrible things with pigs. Please don't do them while I'm working. I would have to stop working and probably get killed while I'm in the middle of all of this. Thank you. Besides, Shauna's very possibly coming on here, and we really don't need it to be a complete nightmare. Oh. Oh, okay. Is your password like back in North Dakota or something terrible like that? Okay. Okay. If you can replace the floor, that would be good. That too. Yeah, in that case, Shauna, I may very well cut the short at some point so that I can phone you up and call up. Or we can just go offline and TeamSpeak it. But, yeah, is there a possibility to send the password to an email you have access to? Okay. Okay, well, maybe what I'll do, tell you what, those who are in the chat during this colorful moment, any other questions? I'm here to serve you, and I'm somewhat distracted over my Minecraft derping about, and that's fine. There's nothing special that I have to do here at the moment. If you got any other questions for me, I'm happy to answer them. Otherwise, I might stop beating myself into the ground blockwise, as it were. Like right now, I am not seeing anything else. I can't really see who's in the chat anyways. I don't think it's set up to block anybody or anything like that. Oh. I can think of a little decorative thing that I can maybe do. And I'll call, almost. And then be prepared to call that an evening. There's definitely a number of things that I could be attending to. But I'm kind of practicing this new Minecrafty thing. You know what? I could probably work out how to make chiseled stone brick. Oh, wrong place. Work out how to make chiseled stone bricks. Here's another one. That's what I needed. I could probably work out how to make those from Minecraft recipes. I just haven't at this time. Yeah, don't remember the recipe. Yeah, I just don't remember the recipe for turning the stone brick, which I have lots of, into the chiseled stuff. But that's fine too. Ooh, I'll make this look all fancy. Oops. That was the last of my stairs. Okay, so I think that'll hold me for now, unless I do something else with it. But I'm not doing anything else with it just yet. Maybe that'd look better if it was cobbled stairs. And this will become some open central space. These can become walls of some kind. Maybe I'll mine out the rest of them in preparation for replacing. Maybe I'll make gravel fall on my head. Been getting a fair bit of that. Only the local ones. That's another thing that I did, because I was like, yeah, that's too much of a good thing. There's still more. You can go on a journey to go and get more. I just decided that it was not appropriate for one to be that close to spawn. Oh, yeah. And there was one that was extra super duper close to spawn, so I decided that was bad, and we're not having that anymore. No. And I'm going to leave that alone for the moment. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to go back into my little house, leaving that undone, put all of my stuff back, put the extra bricks back. I suppose one thing I could do is make that giant thing a giant pile of bricks. That's something I could do. And put all of that stuff back. Into our base. It was pretty funny. In retrospect. Yeah, like funny once. You know, like Pinky telling Rock Candy, funny once, do you hear me? Funny once. And that'd be Solsta. It's Shauna's husband. So I guess what I'll do is I'll wait for these final 6 bricks to be mated. I'm also doing my little bitty picture-in-picture. And just trying a bunch of different things. I'm very curious to see what sort of frame rate I'm getting. And I'm curious as to how the picture-in-picture looks. Seeing as I can't do green screen. Instead, what I have is my studio in the background. And it is the same image that you would get in the music streams. So there, now I have a whole bunch of bricks in my little itty bitty house. Oh, what up? Yes, there are. It's part of the automatic generation. Believe me, if you go far enough, there are. I guarantee more will arise. It just may be a little challenging going and finding them, but that's kind of the idea too. Well, remember, you gotta spot them from a distance, and Matt, when you do find one, it will be great. It'll be wonderful. Yes, thank you. Okay, so on that note, what I'm going to do is log off, and I have a rather special way of logging off, which is I have OBS doing special fancy things. Like, and hi, welcome back to the studio. We have just faded away from the game thing. And this would be your view of the studio stuff when I'm doing the music streaming. And I'm going to be getting back to that as soon as I've made that little device, the little wooden thing behind the thing with the knobs, with the white and gray cable sticking out of it. That is playing chords, but right now it's playing chords in this sort of randomized way that I've decided isn't as nice as having it play chords in a more controllable way. I keep trying to do this random generation thing, and that's really quite challenging, so I haven't succeeded with it yet. But in any case, I will talk to you later, audience of whoever, and yes, Shadow says bye too. And it's possible in future we'll have my friend Shauna also joining us, but I am one of the little proletarian type people in all of my friends that go through these challenges and stuff. And I would like to help them as much as I can, but join the Patreon, bail out a certain whatever. In any case, I will talk to you guys later. Shauna is a steel guitar player, by the way, so it is possible at some point some of these people could be here playing music with me. But that's a story for another day. So I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.